how does this type of deal shift the thinking about the value of IP? Because I mean, we always watch when a Queen deal comes up
Yeah.
for sale, or one of these any of these legendary legacy artists. You see these numbers and you're like, wow, there's a lot going on here. But now you're talking about kind of a whole other category of rights that allows for creating new art, new content, new
Yeah.
recordings, new visuals, new concerts, even. I'm curious, how does this shift how these deals go forward with the value of IP?
Yeah, and as you were asking that question, I saw that Sun came in with a question that sort of overlapped, so about valuation. And I, there are limits to what I can talk about specifically around that, just given, client confidences, and the purchase price has never been publicly revealed, although there's been speculation about that. But really here there are two different valuation exercises. There's the evaluation of the catalog. And, catalog values, as you inferred just now, a moment ago, Dimitri, have really exploded. And you look at, the Queen catalog, and Britney Spears just sold her catalog actually yesterday to
Oh,
Primary Wave. And, so there's a lot of that activity going on, and the multiples are really high, which of course drives more investment in the space and more artists looking to sell their catalog. But there's sort of the valuation of the catalog, and then there was the all the extra piece, right? There's the Avatar show and everything else coming in the future that's not complete today, and it's really hard to value that. So there's a component of value that relates to those future activities in which Gene and Paul will participate. So I think that's about as far as I can go in getting into that detail, but there's a forward-looking component that creates, joint incentives to further create based on the existing IP.
right. Suffice it to say that if you can create avatars that are going to either perform works every night for a year in 20 or 100 cities, uh, or you can even have the rights for avatars who are creating new music. If you have the rights to, I'm not speaking about the Kiss deal specifically, but if you have the rights to the style of music, the voices of the artists, then all of a sudden you have a machine to create songs that would maybe appeal to the same people who already love the band.
Yeah.
There would be a lot more potential revenue generation from that. And so then that would go into an equation with valuation. Speaking speculatively, speaking aspirationally about what could happen in the future, it seems like all of that would be possible.
Absolutely. And it's certainly technologically possible today to do it.
Yeah. The other thing that's interesting about it is it becomes a transmedia conversation. There's always this question of like, how do you take what's now a lot of streaming feels a little bit like a loss leader. Audio streaming feels a little bit like a loss leader. Not that everybody would agree with that. Rights holders might not agree with it. Streaming services might not agree with it. But it feels a little bit like, wow, that's your discovery mechanism. Sure, you can make some money when you get pretty big at it, but really the big revenue comes from live performance and merch and brand deals and other opportunities there. Um, but in a way, this avatarization of artists starts to give you a transmedia. Like now you're getting into TV and film in a way that has a much lower cost to produce and create over time, and also an infinite lifespan of the art and what appears to be the artist, the performing artist at least.
Yeah, well, and also that's it, that all sounds very new, but in a way, it's just an extension of what Kiss has already done. Kiss maybe more than others, but others have done similar things too, right? And again, this is part of the artist as brand. But there's Kiss branded comic books, and there's a Kiss movie with the Scooby-Doo characters. Right? They've done things that are different than uh, writing music, recording music, and then performing that music live. Now they've always made a tremendous amount of money from touring, and that's where the value for them has been. But they were a merchandise machine, and they've certainly entered into filmed entertainment and other aspects of brand extension in the past. This will take it to a whole different level.